Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is February 27th when I'm recording this, and man, the market keeps just selling off, doesn't it? The seasonality is that the second half of February is the weakest, but I think there's a little bit more that's compounding on top of that than just seasonal weakness. This really does look like this could be prolonged for a little bit of time. So, question is, what do you do to your account, your portfolio? What do you do when you get into a situation like this? Well, for us, since we trade stock, and even if you guys trade options, you got to recognize, one, that when things are getting bad like this and it's more than just a dip, okay, because this is something more serious than a dip. For us, we went to cash because a lot of things moved down very, very quickly. If you guys watched the video that I put out last week, over the weekend, we were talking about that. I was like, ooh, this doesn't look good. We were able to trade through December quite a bit. So in through here, did really, really pretty well, kind of holding through that and got all that kind of figured out. Even through all these dips, did pretty well. And then just as the market looked like it was starting to move up, and then it broke hard from just barely breaking over new all-time highs, and that's the signal basically. When you started seeing something like that, especially from Friday selling off like that, and then it continued into Monday, I just hit the eject button, say get out, go to cash. If you can't do that, then you got to figure out how to work around it. But honestly, I think you got to be able to have stop losses. I think you got to be able to get out because we're not institutions, we're not hedge funds. We don't need to stay invested 80% all the time. You can do things about this, and you can take matters into your own hands. And so you can just say, get me out. And that's what we did. As far as other things that you can do, you can switch over to day trading. So we had two good trades right in about here that were basically bullish, selling a put credit spread, buying a call debit spread, and we made about 80%. Today I got a little chopped up right in through here. I did put on a trade. The market looked like it came down, wanted to bounce back, but then there was zero follow through. So we lost 60% on that one. And then I did try another one, took that one off pretty quick because I was looking for a longer term something. I should have stuck to my original guns here. Like if you guys look at this, this was a post from earlier today, 8:53 my time, which is Pacific. And this was basically, so if you look here, I posted this kind of right after we got out of our long trade that I thought was going to work because we had a nice dip like this. It got bought back up and I was looking for a little bit of follow through today, but the market said no. And so it was right about here that I made this post. And so you can see, I'll bring it up here, is it said if SPX price cannot get over the 15-minute 50, and so for me that is this right here, this magenta colored line on the 15-minute time frame. I said then that will continue to be resistance, and that means price could break this week's low. I was looking for a bounce first, which means price would get over the 15-minute 50. That did not happen, so look out below. Yeah, I should have stuck with that one today because that would have worked out nicely because it did end up that this was a pretty good move to the downside. It did take a couple tries to do that. You can see here was resistance at the 15-minute 50, and then again was resistance here, even though price kind of bounced a couple times. You can see in through here, it finally, whether you do a diagonal or even a horizontal, you can see that that is where it finally broke. And that was my post where I said, if the 15-minute 50 continues to be resistance, we could see prices breaking this week's low. And that's exactly what happened. And so, as I said, when things like this happen, just step aside. You can day trade if you want, if you're good at that. Otherwise, like I said, I kind of got chopped up a little bit today on my positions for the day trading. It would have been great to have just been short or buy some puts or something like that. That would have been fantastic. And so now we just kind of have to wait and see where this goes. I do have some tickers that I want to show you because how do we recognize that this is something that's more serious? Well, basically, when you have good names that are moving pretty well like this, and then suddenly they just kind of roll over. So when you have good names like this, that they're looking like they're great, they've been holding pretty well, and then they have earnings like this. Now, I understand a lot of times you can kind of get popped up on earnings and they'll come back because there was a gap. But the fact that these got just so perfectly rejected on the 15-minute time frame and sliced so fast to the downside and across the board, this wasn't just this name or that name, like across the board this was happening, that's when you kind of recognize like, oh, there is something more going on here than just this name. It's a lot more. You can look at ACHR. This was one that we were trading. We had a perfect setup. This thing was absolutely fantastic right there into the hourly 50. There was even volume coming into this, and we had a nice move to the upside, and it got perfectly rejected by the double top. And then we even got on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, that it kind of faked me out a little bit because price came down, it got bought right back up pretty quickly. and then continued to get sold into. Now, we did get stopped out of that one, which again, this is good. The fact that we got stopped out of these things is fine, because what that means is you're not hanging on to these things or hoping or wishing or whatever and then struggling. The fact that your, eject button worked, that's the whole point of why we do stops, because you never know when these things are really going to turn around and bite you. So there's ACHR, RXRX. This was another really good name that we had. And you can see here, we got in here, so what is it, about 650, I think it was about right there. We sold 25% of the portfolio here or the position at plus 80%. And I was thinking, hey, this is looking great. We got lots of volume. Let's keep going. But then the market said otherwise, and you can just see again, it has been selling hard into this. And so when I saw what was happening across the board, Friday into Monday, we just got out of the rest of it for 40% gains. So, pretty good all in all, 80% and 40%. But thank goodness we got out, because, it's given back most of the profits on that. And then if we look at RCAP, again, we got stopped out of this one. A little bit of a loss. We were up and then came back down because it just couldn't hold. And then you look at these things, it's like, man, every bounce just keeps getting sold into, and then we got stopped out. Again, no big deal, because that's the whole point of why we have stops, to make sure that you don't override your brain to say, oh, well, maybe this will work, or maybe this is going to bounce, and then it just never does. And next thing you know, you're down 40% or something like that. I was even looking at around it stuff like ON. We never traded this one, but look at it's breaking the channel. And once again, you can see right here, look at that perfect rejection at the underside of a downtrending hourly 50 with the Moxie indicator below zero. And then it just swooped to the downside. I mean, this is kind of crazy. This is indicative of just how fast and how hard the selling was in this market right here, right now. And that's why I went to cash. Just said, I don't know what's going on. This isn't looking good. I'm not going to even go fight it. Let's just go to cash, and then we can deal with things later. So yeah, that was ONON. And then AFRM. This is another one where it was doing great. We were in at this fantastic level all the way down here. We took, I think, a quarter of the position off here after earnings. And then once again, we got stopped out here, went to cash when everything started to roll over pretty hard. But you can look at this, another great name that was making new highs, and everything was looking fantastic. But this market overall just decided to say, nope, we're not going to do this. And so everyone started to sell. And that's when you really have to just duck and cover and get away. And you can see here, it has just continued to bleed to the downside, but that's okay. We're not in it anymore. And now we are free to just watch these things unfold and do whatever they want to do. Now, on the other side, we can look around and say, okay, are there any names that are strong? Yes, there are. Do you want to trade them? Sure, maybe. And then to keep an eye out for, most of the time this is temporary. Like, remember that the market usually goes up. It's just a matter of how long is it going to be pulling back and how much damage is there going to be and all that kind of stuff. So as long as you can survive and keep your powder dry and live to fight another day for when this market turns back up, we could just sit on the sidelines and wait for that. That also means that we can watch things like Toast, which we were in. We made a lot of money here, because we got in here, we got out here, and I think here, and then we got back in. I think we got back in around there. We added to it here, and then we exited here, break even, and then we exited here for a small win, for a small gain on that little bit. So that was pretty good. But once again, this thing just got hammered with the rest of the market. Now, if you actually step out and step back, you can notice that Toast is actually doing pretty well. It is not quite following the market. In fact, it's been up the last couple days. And so these are some of the names that you might want to keep on your list for whenever this market is just finished being crazy and going down, because this does not look like a bad name, does it? Okay, it may not be ready to go up, kind of that double top of the market's throwing a hissy fit, but this looks like a pretty decent name that I'm probably going to want to know. And so this is the kind of stuff that you build your watch list with and keep an eye on it, because, hey, maybe this will be one of the leaders whenever the market is done going down. You can also look at LM&D. This was another one that we were in. We got stopped out with like a 2% gain on this one, and then turned around and did all sorts of stuff. But again, we were watching from the sidelines because we didn't have to worry about it. But here's something to look at. Even during a down market, yes, it got dropped on earnings, but look at how it got bought right back up. That looks pretty good, and you notice there's still a lot of volume that's coming into something like this. So this is a name I'm going to be watching even while the market's doing its crazy stuff, because this still looks like a name that is trying to find some support into here, and it looks like a bigger time frame, bigger support. Like this looks like a bigger trend that's trying to go. I mean, this is part of why I'm just patiently waiting for the market to kind of get over itself, because a name like LM&D that has been down and basing for 2 years and then finally started to break out, I feel like there's more there. I just don't feel like this thing is totally over and done with, and we just need to time it right, get it properly. Now with that, this is insurance. So if you look at Root is another insurance one. Man, I remember looking at this thing back when it was just pennies or $1 or something like that, and then suddenly this thing keeps moving. It just had earnings, but look, it's holding support and it continues to make new highs in through here. So this looks like this is a pretty good name. Now, I don't really like to hold over earnings. This one would have been really, really tough. And yes, it's up on earnings. That's totally fine. I'm pretty sure that this thing is most likely going to pull back or consolidate or do something that would give me another entry after this earnings pop. I'm glad it popped up. That means it's good and strong. Now I just kind of have to find a way into it, and I just have to be patient about that. The other thing, so if we look at, let's see, U. Here's another ticker. And you can see this one didn't really look good going into things. It's been kind of pulling back for quite some time, and then it also popped on earnings just like Root. Now, if you look, as I said, if you're patient, look what it's been doing. It's been forming a little bit of a triangle in through here, right into the hourly 50. Hey, not too shabby. So I'm keeping a really close eye on this. This might end up being a leader once the market is finished going down, because it's not getting sold into as the market continues to bleed and go down. These are the kind of names that you want to look at and say, oh, they might actually be showing some relative strength. So U is another interesting one. And even Perch. Look at this thing. Again, I don't really like earnings because you just never know what's going to happen. We've seen lots of names go down on earnings. And this one was pretty crazy because it was getting bled into earnings and then popped. So I like to mostly just skip that. And yeah, I don't want to go chase this. But if you compare this to U, you can see that U came down like this and kind of found some area to hang out, and then hopefully it moves back up. So this is another name that I'm going to be keeping on my list, because look how well it is generally doing compared to the rest of the market. It's got relative strength. So if you happen to have these names in your portfolio when the market is coming down, hey, you're doing great, okay? At least it's helping with the bleeding and whatever like that. We didn't have a lot of those names. Some of them came back. We've gotten back into a couple names that were looking all right. But when the market just does this kind of thing, I am perfectly happy just going to cash, and then I can see how things settle in, and then I can always get right back in if I need to, because it's really not that difficult to just push some buttons and get back in. So this is what I'm doing to handle this kind of market. It feels great to mostly be in cash, and we've been talking in the Moxie room and stuff like this, and everyone's like, yeah, cool, that's fine. We're just going to hang around, let the market do whatever it wants to do. Even if we're watching, I come over here, if we watch the SPX, even if we're watching this thing just bleed down, it's really no big deal. Maybe you'd wish you could take some day trades, but I'm kind of happy about this. It means I don't really have to do too much. I don't have to think about trying to find some trades. It's a little bit of vacation because, hey, you know what? There's just nothing to do unless you're a day trader in through here. Let me show you one more thing as we back out, and this is why this might end up taking a little bit to get itself figured out. So here you can see prices over the daily 50. Notice that the Moxie indicator is below 0. This has now confirmed that this is an inverse trampoline move, meaning that price should not be over the 50 if the Moxie indicator is below 0. And this one worked. This one definitely worked to the downside. And so now we just have to step aside and see how long this thing wants to go until things kind of get figured out. It's been a while since we've had that. You can see, I think maybe the last one I can kind of point to is October. Or I guess it finished in October, so 3 months before that, August, September is when that happened. But you can see here price was over the 50, Moxie indicator was below 0, and we had a couple waves down until finally it took off. So this is what I'm saying. This might be the market top for now. I would like to think that the market is going to keep going up eventually. I don't know when that's going to be, but usually when we get a nice big correction, hey, look what happens after that. So having the market reset like this, no big deal. And eventually things go back on track. We need things like this in order to have the market go up. Like, the market can't just keep going up forever. And so we need pullbacks, we need corrections. And honestly, the deeper and longer this thing goes, hey, probably the better it's going to be on the way back out. So don't look at this as too terrible of a thing. Just make sure you protect yourself. Go to cash if you need to. Make sure you set stops. Don't try to hope, wish, and pray and think that something's going to be coming back, because sometimes they don't. Okay, at least this is how I trade. If that works for you, resonates with you, come on over to simplertrading.com/Moxie, and this is where we kind of go over all this stuff. So hope you guys are doing well out there, and we'll see you in the trading room. All right, thanks again. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.